Hi and welcome to the next in the series of nutrition seminars. Today we're going to be talking about something that's very topical, bearing in mind that I'm recording this on the 2nd of January, and that is goals. Now, every year, at the beginning of the year, sees a large majority of people setting New Year's resolutions or goals. These actually don't have to just be set at New Year, and the principles we're about to talk about can be used to set goals or targets at any time of the year. The 5th of November is just as good a time to set targets as the 1st of January. But obviously, the beginning of the year seems like a sensible time to set new goals and new targets to achieve in the year. The thing being, and the problem with people's goals or resolutions, is that very few people actually have any idea how to actually set the goals so that they can achieve them. Here is the way I've actually found to be the most effective to first set the goals and then to actually make sure that I achieve them. We're actually obviously going to be talking about body composition and health goals as our example, but the same format that we use to set those goals and then to work out how we're going to achieve them can be used for any goals that you want to set for any aspect of your life, be it relationships, business, personal life, any goals that you want to set. You can use the same format if you'd like. Now, the first thing to do is to think big. Most people are very used to, when they're setting resolutions or thinking about new targets at the beginning of a year, to think about what they're going to achieve that year. What I've found to be effective, and actually what I've been taught and has proven to be very effective for me personally and for I know a lot of people I've spoken with, is that you think big. So you don't restrain your thinking. Now, what can happen is if you're thinking of just a year's time, is that your goals can be, you can edit your goals in that you don't think that a lot of things can be possible because a year can seem like too soon, not long enough to actually achieve some of the things that you want to achieve. So the next question I urge you to ask yourself is a great question, as it gives you 3 years to think about, so that you're looking at 3 years into the future, which means you can let your mind explore possibilities. You're far more likely to let your mind run free, as things seem a lot more possible when you're looking at a 3-year time frame rather than just a year or less of a time frame. So the question I'd like you to ask yourself is, imagine we're sitting down together having this conversation 3 years from today, and you're looking back over those 3 years. What has to have happened, both physically and health-wise, for you to feel happy with your progress? Now, you can change that question. So if you were talking, you wanted to set goals for your relationships, you could just change it simply to say, imagine we're having this conversation 3 years from today and you are looking back over those 3 years. What has to have happened in your relationships for you to feel happy with your progress? Now, what I'd like you to do is then allow your mind to run free. And it's much better if you're doing this without any distractions, no TV, no phone, no one trying to contact you. And you just sit there and let your mind run free and list down whatever comes into your head. Now, remembering it's a 3-year time frame, so pretty much anything is possible. Try not to let what you think you're capable of doing today affect what you would be capable of doing in 3 years' time. So when we're talking health and body composition, if, for example, you'd like to lose 3 stone, 3 years seems much more manageable to people than, say, if you did it in a shorter time frame. So allow your mind to run free and list down whatever comes into your head. Now, the key with any goal is that you write it down. A goal not written down is actually just a wish, and there's studies have shown, and you're far less likely to actually achieve that goal if you don't write it down. I suggest you write it down with the date it will be in 3 years. So if, for example, you were doing it on the 2nd of January 2013, you'd write the date down as the 2nd of January 2016, and you'd list the goals as if you have achieved them. E.g., if your goal it would be to lose 3 stone and you're 13 stone currently, I weigh 10 stone. And you've got the date there as the 2nd of January 2016. The next stage is to ask yourself the same question, but for 1 year from today. So you're going to break your goals down, your 3-year goal down slightly into a year. So if we're having this conversation 1 year from today, what has to have happened both physically and health-wise for you to feel happy with your progress? So going along with the ultimate goal of 3 stone of fat loss, the sensible, or what we'll use an example here, is that you would be keeping that 3-year goal in mind, the 3 stone of fat loss, and your goal for the first year could be to lose 1 stone of fat. Again, it's very important that you write it down, and write it down with the date. So it would be the 2nd of January 2014. I weigh 12 stone if you start at 13 stone. So it's very important that you write the goals down. So you've got then your 3-year ultimate goal, and then you've broken it down into your year goal. Now, how do we actually achieve our goals? As that's actually the most important thing. It's all very well having goals in our mind, or certainly having them written down, but how do we actually go about achieving them? Now, what I've found to be very effective, and has been taught to me and been proven, I've used it with a lot of different people and it's been very effective, is that we, rather than focusing on that bigger goal, so for example for the year we've got 1 stone of fat loss, let's focus on the habits or rituals that we need to incorporate into our life to allow us to get to our goals. So the habits or rituals that we incorporate will actually be the engine that get us to our goals. They're the things that we focus on day to day. Now, it takes 21 days of doing the same thing every day to form a habit or a ritual. You can call them either. And a habit is basically something that you do without thinking, or that takes no mental energy at all from you. So it's like brushing your teeth. It takes no mental energy for you to brush your teeth because you've been doing it for that long and you're that used to doing it. You can think about other things and it doesn't tire you out actually thinking about it. That means that you have in a year 17 chances to incorporate new habits into your life that can take you closer to your goals. That's an awful lot of positive behaviors that you can actually incorporate into your life that become part of your life that will take you towards your goals. Can you see now how your goals become far more obtainable when you look at things this way and look at the habits that you just need to simply incorporate into your life to take you to your goals? Now, it's very important that you only ever try to focus on one habit at a time. So only one habit every 21 days. Now, that's one of the massive reasons that people at New Year's don't often reach their goals, is that they try and change everything all at once. So they're trying to change about 10 or 15 different habits, or incorporate 10 or 15 different habits into their life all at once. And you can't actually do that. You can't achieve that properly. And that's why a lot of people don't ever achieve their New Year's resolutions or goals. So I really, really urge you to only focus on one habit every 21 days. That's still 17 positive behaviors you can incorporate into your life, which is more than enough to take you towards your goals. So, how do you choose your habits? Now, what you want to do is choose the habits that will have the greatest impact. You'll always find that you'll have in your mind some habits that you can incorporate, but there'll be 1 or 2 that will be able to have the biggest impact on you. So with us using the 3-year goal of 3 stone weight loss and the 1-year goal of 1 stone of weight loss, the first habit which I would suggest for you would be to incorporate a high protein breakfast for the next 21 days. So that's your habit that you're focusing on, having the ideal breakfast every morning for 21 days. That's if you aren't doing it already. Now, that means that that's all you have to focus on. The 1 stone fat loss will take care of itself when you're focusing on achieving this habit. Now, after 21 days, you won't have to think about it. It's just something that you do. You'll have that breakfast automatically, as it's just what you do. It's a habit. You don't need to think about it. You just go about it automatically. Now, another example, if you're actually already doing a high protein breakfast, but you're, say, training twice a week, making your first habit that you incorporate into your life that you train 3 times a week every single week would have the most impact out of anything. So that's if you're already doing a high protein breakfast. Another example of a habit you could incorporate first for your first 21 days would be that you up your training to 3 times a week, and that would have a very large impact on you. So if you're unsure of what habits would be best for you, please get in contact. Please email us or write in the comments below, and we'll be able to help prioritize your habits. Now, don't forget that you've got 17 opportunities for new habits. So don't panic and think that you have to try and do more than one at a time. You will get to your goals, taking it step by step and just focusing on the one habit at a time. If you know your first habit, I'd love to hear it. Please put it in the box below, or if you want to keep it private, you can email. I'd really like to hear it, and then we can have a discussion about what your habits will be for the year and how you're going about at achieving them. And this gives you great day-to-day confidence when all you have to focus on is achieving that one habit for the day. So you know that if you've had your high-protein breakfast, that you have done the habit that you wanted to do, and you are closer towards your goals at the end. So focus on your habits is a great way to keep you on track overall, and really is able to keep what can sometimes seem large and far away goals in your mind. Another way I'd actually try and keep you focused on your goals, I really enjoy reading my goals daily, as it creates excitement, as my goals are take me out of my comfort zone and they very much excite me. So I like to read them daily, and that really keeps my mind focused. So I'd suggest you should try maybe reading your goals as well, just to keep you focused on what you're trying to achieve at the end of your year or at the end of your 3 years. And that will really create excitement, because obviously with all different goals there's peaks and troughs, and sometimes progress can seem slow. But if we're focusing on our habits, we can always know that we're making progress towards our goals. So I'd really like to hear all about your different habits or your different goals that you've set, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks, see you next time.